Playoff hockey is back. And it is time to make predictions for the Stanley Cup once again. We start in round 1. First up, the Washington Capitals and the New York Rangers. A pretty easy series to pick here. Washington just scraped in and the Rangers are the President's Trophy winners. While it is hard to pick against Alex Ovechkin in the playoffs, I still think Rangers win with ease. Give me New York in 5. Next up, the New York Islanders and the Carolina Hurricanes. A rematch of last season's first round. One of 2 rematches from the first round actually. And one of 3 rematches from last season in general. The Islanders come in this time red hot, winning 8 of their last 9 games. Carolina is never an easy force to beat at home. But however, I am actually going with the Islanders to get the upset. The Islanders have handled Carolina very well all season, and I think in the playoffs this time they can do it once again. Give me New York in a Game 7. Next up, the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Florida Panthers. We meet again. This time in round 1. This Florida team has been different from the teams who failed to win a playoff series for over 25 years. And it is never easy to beat Sergei Bobrovsky when he is red hot in the playoffs, but I think Lightning eliminate Florida once again. In the end, experience matters. We have it. Now sure, Florida has gained experience after their Cinderella run to the finals last season, but I still favor Tampa Bay when it comes to experience. And that's why I'm saying Lightning in 6. Next up, the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Boston Bruins. Here we go with these 2 once again. Boston is trying to make up for their collapse from round 1 of last season when they were up 3-1 on Florida, and lost the series in 7. While Toronto is hoping this is the year they get past Boston in the playoffs, especially with the season that Austin Matthews just had. But, until Toronto can eliminate Boston, I am going to pick Boston every time. Plus it is hard to pick against the team coming in with the chip on the shoulder. But this time, it fails to reach a Game 7. I am actually saying Bruins in 6. Now on to the Western Conference, where we get the Vegas Golden Knights and the Dallas Stars, a rematch of last year's conference final in the first round. But this time Dallas looks like the better team. Now don't get me wrong, Vegas is getting a lot of players back from injury in time for this series, and Aiden Hill can keep the Stars at bay like last season. But Jake Ottinger in the playoffs is usually a lock. Stars in 6. Here we have the Colorado Avalanche and the Winnipeg Jets. In my opinion the toughest series to pick. Hard to pick against Connor Hellebuck in the playoffs. But picking against Nathan MacKinnon and Cale Makar is easily as hard to do. Something's got to give, and when in doubt, go with the more experience. Which means I'll take Colorado, in a hard-fought, 7-game series. Next, the Nashville Predators and the Vancouver Canucks. Vancouver makes a surprise trip to the playoffs after winning the Pacific Division. While Nashville is back on the playoff scene, I am actually going with Nashville to get the upset here. UC Soros is the type of goalie that can carry a team past an up-and-coming good shooting team. Nashville in 7. And lastly, the Los Angeles Kings and the Edmonton Oilers. A rematch of the first round from last season. A series the Kings competed better in than most people thought. While it is tough to pick against Connor McDavid in the playoffs, I am actually going with the Kings to actually win the series this time. Nearly did it last year and only got better. This time, I say LA are gonna do it. I say Kings in 7. Well, that will do it for the first round of Stanley Cup playoff picks. We will back here to try and predict round 2.